Brad, is there a player from a previous class already in the roster, whatever the classification, whatever the year, that you think has underachieved, but you haven't given up on him? You think that there's still something there that could break out, and maybe this is the right coaching staff to get it out of him?
Oh, absolutely. There's a bunch of names, but the first name that comes to mind has got to be Jahfari Harvey. I think Jahfari Harvey, when you look at when we brought him into this recruiting class a few years ago, when you turn on the tape, man, he had everything that you look for in a defensive line. And I think now that we have the coaching staff, that the scheme that we're bringing to the table, Jahfari Harvey is pretty much at that point where he's got to prove everything he can to not only get the playing time that he wants and deserves, but when you look at the guys that we brought in from the transfer portal, these current players that are on the Miami Hurricanes the past couple of years, they got a lot more pressure on them now when you bring in proven guys from other conferences that have already shown that they could do some things. You talk about the Antonio Maltries, the Mezzadors, even a guy like Jacob Lichtenstein. I think someone like Lichtenstein and D-Rob or D-Jack, I'm sorry, Demetrius Jackson, those two guys, you want to talk about big body, big frame guys of what we need on this defensive line in order to get these pass rushers that are athletic, and these linebackers to be in space. You need those big body, big frame guys like we had a few years ago with the Gerald Willises, the Kendrick Nortons. So I think those two guys, of transfer portal guys of Lichtenstein and Demetrius Jackson are going to be very monumental for this defense.
Lichtenstein comes to mind as a guy who put on a number of pressures during the spring game, a sack or two, batted some passes in the air, caused a deflected interception, really was causing all sorts of havoc. So that was good to see out of him.